Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff today. I'm reviewing the song Things We Tell Ourselves in the Dark by Between the Buried and Me. As usual, the song comes to you as a request from one of my viewers. So if you want to get your song reviewed, just do what they did. Leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to add it to my list. I want to say I've heard another song by Between the Buried and Me, although I'm blanking on the name of said song right now. But I want to say I've heard from these folks before. If not, I definitely recognize the name. So anyway, kind of have maybe sort of an idea of what I'm getting myself into here. But let's jump in. Let's hope for a good song. Between the Buried and Me, Things We Tell Ourselves in the Dark. Here we go.
Across the streets of legacy. In case the thought goes, these things we tell ourselves in the dark. Never heard what was said to weep alone in this racing ride.
I really like that. I honestly did not expect a very, prog rock, prog metal type song. I was kind of going into this. Oops. Start it over again. My bad. I was going into this honestly kind of expecting something more screamo, just guessing by the name. I honestly, again, had no idea truly what to expect. I thought I did, but to go into this and get like again like a prog metal sound, I think was a lot of fun, kind of unexpected. And there were just so many elements that I really really enjoyed in this one. So really excited to talk about it. Let's break it down piece by piece like we always do, of course, starting with the lyrics, which I have opened here. And this is pretty new, June 12th, 2025. All right, cool. All right, here we go. Fever dream reach across the streets of legacy, encase a throat of gold. The things we tell ourselves in the dark, never heard what was said. To weep alone in this racing madness, bright-eyed with power. Prettiest at the ball, grandest dreams of all. Machine-like precision to rid me of concern. The empathetic creatures are hunted for reward. It's sordid, it's boring, prosperity. So, just in what we're seeing so far, I'm guessing that it is about, kind of as it says here, prosperity, maybe overconsumption, and the difference between those who have and those who have not, right? And those who are bright-eyed with power. Again, money is power, I think, in this sense. And so, yeah, you want to be the prettiest of the ball. You have these grand dreams of becoming rich and famous and powerful. And I think alongside of that, in order to help accumulate that wealth, accumulate that power, part of that is ridding the kind of average person of any concern, right? Like your life is fine, everything's fine. When in reality, I like what it says here. The empathetic creatures are hunted for reward. You kind of squeeze out the empathy, you squeeze out that human compassion in the name of profit, in the name of fame, in the name of becoming rich and powerful and what have you, right? And so it's like this prosperity is sort of artificial. It's superficial because it's really concentrated amongst a very small number of people. And, that clearly is probably me putting some of my meaning into this. But really that's how I'm reading it so far. Beggars worship in the street, dropping flowers by my feet as it is what it was. And I think this honestly just solidifies it, right? Like you have these folks who are poor, they're, I think in this context, literally beggars, but they still drop flowers at your feet as an artist, as someone who is, again, maybe a little bit more rich and powerful than maybe the average person. The average person almost worships you, right? So it's like this sort of prosperity for the few, that sort of American dream of, hey, that could be me one day, right? So I'm going to worship these famous and awesome people. To all the old egos we've sold, how does it grow? Marigold. To all the old egos we've sold, how does it grow? Marigold. Kiss the ring, miserable degrees, a figment of our nightmares. I'll have a little fun with a slightly loaded gun. Please try and hear me out. Machine-like precision to rid me of concern. The empathetic creatures are hunted for reward. It's sordid, you're boring, prosperity. Yeah, again, the more I read through it, I'm like, the more I feel like it's reinforcing this idea of the difference between the haves and the have-nots, and trying to essentially eliminate those who would stand against that, and to also make the have-nots comfortable in their not having things. Lift, place, proceed. I'm standing by your back door, waiting to strike and capture. Machine-like precision. Lift, place, proceed. I'm standing by your back door, waiting to strike and capture. The empathetic creatures. Machine-like precision. Blinded by my shining star, lurching with my fat cigar, a showering of gold. Secretly smoldering, can't find peace within. Secretly smoldering, can't find peace within. Honestly, it also, the phrase like conspicuous consumption arises the more I read through this, right? And you think about like the Gilded Age, the conspicuous consumption that happened there just before what would eventually become the Great Depression. Hopefully I'm getting my history timeline correct here. But I feel like we have a lot of that today with like influencer culture, right? Going to private beaches and having yachts and doing all the things, right? Like here it's, blinded by my shining star. I'm, again, big, famous, lurching with my fat cigar, a showering of gold. Again, it conjures that image of conspicuous consumption. And in the age of the internet, like we are living that again, I feel. Secretly smoldering, can't find peace within. Secretly smoldering, can't find peace within. Trapped in twisted spaces, dissolve the crowd, devour la-di-da. Trapped in twisted spaces, dissolve the crowd, devour la-di-da. Trapped in twisted spaces kind of goes on like that for a little bit. As it is, what it was, things we tell ourselves in the dark. In the dark, tell ourselves in the dark. As it is, what it is, what it was. To all the old egos we've sold, how does it grow? Marigold. To all the old egos we've sold, how does it grow? Marigold. And so, like a marigold, I think, you hear the phrase like find your marigolds a lot of the time, right? Those are the people who are going to lift you up. I guess marigolds grow best together or something like that. So I think this part's interesting, right? Because to all the old egos we've sold, how does it grow? And I'm not entirely sure how that all fits together. Is he sort of saying like when you have that big ego, when you're all about power and fame, is it because you're surrounded by people who allow you to kind of grow into that beast? Or is he kind of saying that that's the way out, right? Like this overconsumption, that's again, lust for power and fame, can only be countered through like community, through unity with your fellow man. Again, being a marigold, helping others around you grow. So I'm not too sure. I'd be interested to kind of see what their take on this is. There's an about section. Let's read through it a little bit and see if it kind of expands on our knowledge at all. This track emerged from the maniac genius of Dan Briggs. The song deals with a dark cloud that is ego, so I tried to vocally approach it with a different kind of confidence than normal, almost like a pop song. Even though it takes you down crazy avenues, you can sit back and sing along. Okay. Vocalist Tommy Rogers. It's one of the rarest songs I started around the bass and that foundational funky idea, while also maintaining a pretty straightforward melodic idea underneath everything, no matter how dense it got rhythmically. I love when we have arrangements that feel like they have a page turn into another dimension, but I thought it was important for this one to feel really seamless as it moved dynamically. Even when it gets heavy, I thought it'd be fun at the core to still feel like it was Prince's band playing, keeping it funky. Bassist Dan Briggs. Nice. Song was released as the Blue Nowhere's first single on 12th of June 2025 alongside an animated music video directed by Miles Scarron. Cool. So yeah, I mean, clearly it is about ego. He mentions the word ego quite a few, but again, I can't help but read it as this kind of struggle between haves and have-nots. And maybe the haves are those who do have a huge ego. Again, those who do lust. I mean, I feel like when you have a big ego, you have sort of a lust for power. You have a lust for fame and attention and things like that. So maybe it's all tied together that way. Anyway, I always love it when a song can kind of make me think, make me talk about it, really make me kind of take the lyrics in and form my own interpretation. And so, I like reading through this. This was fantastic and well written. I would want to say I'll give it 2 thumbs up lyrically. I really think that, there's a lot that you can pull out for yourself and make meaning for yourself, which I love. So it's not always about what the artist intended, right? On top of that, instrumentally, vocally, I'll start vocally because, those of you who have watched the channel for a while know that I can be a little critical of like screaming vocals. I tend to dislike songs that are just like overly harsh and just have nothing but unrelenting screaming vocals, right? And this was not that. I think this had a really great mix of clean singing with the heavier singing as well. And both sounded really good, and I feel like both were used to great effect, right? Like the heaviness was used in a very sparing way, but that I think enhanced the heaviness and the enjoyability of the song, if you will. Instrumentally, a lot going on here, but as we kind of read in the about section, I agree that I don't think it was ever too much. What I will say, and it makes a lot of sense that the bassist was saying, like, yeah, it really started with this nice bass groove because that's immediately what pulled me into the song. Like you get this nice little kind of bass arrangement at the very beginning that immediately just like hooked me in, and then they even give like a little bass solo near the middle section, and I'm like, oh, that's groovy, it's funky, it's fun to listen to. So yeah, you can really tell that like that was kind of the initial hook, right? And then everything else kind of flowed around it. But yeah, that bass throughout was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, a lot of different layers to this sound. Again, very proggy. I'm sure they had like keyboard, synth, all those kind of things. Let's see if they have any credits here of who played what. Not necessarily. I mean, there was definitely some guitar in there, which again, guitar knew kind of when to be heavy, because there were some heavy guitar moments in there that I thought were really enjoyable. Some nice little riffs. Blake Richardson on drums. There was also a few drum fills in there where I was like, that was really cool. Again, to me, the bass was the big one. I really, really enjoyed that. But I think everything really worked together well here to just make a really fun song to listen to. I mean, I very much found myself jamming out to it as it was playing. So also got to give a shout out just in general to the vocalist. I was getting like Mike Patton vibes from just the way it was arranged and the way he approached the vocal style. Which is pretty cool to me. So vocally, instrumentally, 2 big thumbs up there. So I really enjoyed this one. As far as replay value goes, I mean, this one's kind of a little weird. It is, again, very proggy, but still really fun to listen to. I feel like this is only going to benefit from more listens, right? I feel like every time I listen, I'm probably going to pick up on something a little bit different, something new that I might have missed the first time. So honestly, I'm really looking forward to listening to this one again. It's definitely going to make the playlist, excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead and give it 2 big thumbs up for replay value as well. Overall, a fantastic song and an excellent request. Thank you so much for the person who requested this one. As always, if you enjoyed the music, go support the artists, go listen to their music wherever you can. Hey, this album's pretty new, maybe go pick it up or listen to it somewhere. I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. And hey, speaking of support, if you enjoyed what you saw here on the channel today, consider supporting the channel, like and subscribe and comment, all those things that you normally do on YouTube for channels that you like. All that stuff helps me out, of course. Not necessary, but appreciated. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.